Hello my owlets, how are you guys doing today? I hope everybody is doing well. I am doing so much better since my last video. I was recovering, but doing so much better. So let's hop into the fun activity that I wanted to show you guys. I always am inspired by my friend Nancy Jo, and the other day she had her purse, and she had these pom-poms and these Funky Junky journals all in one. And I did a class showing how to do this in Conroe a few weeks ago, and I wanted to make one. I wanted to make a Funky Junky journal tag for my upcoming bag that I'm taking with me on our trip to Vermont. Me and my sister are doing another trip to Maine and Vermont. We're going to actually go to the northern part of Maine. Well, I say northern part, but along the beach line. We're going to be staying along to go see a lot of the, just the northern part of, I think it's like, maybe it's south of Portland. Anyway, I know I need to come up with my itinerary. We have somewhat of my sister has done an itinerary, but I want to write it down. But anyway, I want to create an ephemera bag. So last year, if you remember on the trip, I made this one out of an old, what do you call it? Out of an old, where's the opening? Oh, I forgot. It's out of the top here. This was made out of a bag that I got stuff from Amazon in. So this worked out perfectly. I probably will end up taking this again as well. Just because after me going through my stash, because I'm still working on my project, still working on my project from my journal from that trip. I still have quite a bit of stash that I need to put into my journal. So I'm definitely going to be working on that prior to going to this trip, because I really want to have that trip finished. I would say I'm about maybe a little over 50% done with the trip. I have everything in one spot. It's just gluing it down and documenting it. So I definitely want to do that. I've picked up these cute little, are they sticky? Let's see. I picked up these, okay, so I was inspired, because I made one of these little bags for my friend Nancy Jo for her birthday, and I was inspired, how do you do this? Set iron to medium, remove backing from patch. Okay, so I do need to remove the back, well, unless this is the backing. I need my little, let's see here. But I made one for Nancy Jo. They had these at Hoblobs. Oh, here we go. Okay. The patches were a little different at Hobby Lobby. So I'm just going to place them on here. I'm actually going to be using liquid glue. I wonder if I should put it. For some reason I feel like my zipper should go on that side. But I'm just going to put fun on mine. And so anyway, we my sister and I, when she saw it, she's like, I want one of those bags. So I went to Hobby Lobby and found the lettering. Everything was on sale. But I want to tell you guys, if you have a Hobby Lobby, if you go there, this was actually not in the department where you found these letters. And actually I got these letters from Walmart. But they actually have the different bags on the bag aisle, and they're less expensive. And personally, I like the bigger bag. So so check it out. If you go to Hobby Lobby, check out that space, because they had bags where they were selling these letters at, but they were a lot more expensive. They were on sale this week, or that week that I purchased them, but it was still more expensive than this bag, and this bag is a lot more bigger size. So I was like, well, yeah, I need a different bag. So I need a bigger bag, right? Because I wanted to do ephemera. So I'm gonna actually just use. I know this is sticky, and you're supposed to be able to iron it on, but I'm going to use fabric glue because I just trust it a lot more than my ironing skills. I just found this in my stash. I wonder if I need to... Let me get my other one over there because this one may be kind of dry. I know I have a whole nother bottle somewhere, but I have not even unpacked from the trips that I have made, that I've done. Like, I did do some of the Wizard of Oz stuff, you guys, from the Play All Day event, but literally my life has just been, and now I'm moving into a different season, so my brain is on that. So I need to go in, and hopefully I can do it this weekend. I'm feeling 100% better, and yeah, so I'm hoping I can do that. Sorry for my sniffling. I'm still got that part I'm dealing with. And I'm in my nesting phase of seasons change, because I love doing it kind of wonky like that, because fun, it just seems like it would be wonky, right? But I'm kind of starting to put out all my fall stuff, and I'm doing it slowly. For one, I'm so ready, and the other is I'm going to be doing, well, we go on our trip next month, and then we have an event, a girls crafting weekend coming up. So I've got that also. So I want to have, next month is going to be kind of really crazy as well as July was. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry, and then we're going to work on our fun little tassel. So this is the reason I love this project so much is you can change what it says. So I don't know if my sister's going to watch this video. She might. If not, I'm making her a charm too. So she can have one for her bag, because she bought a bag as well. And so I've made some pom-poms already. Have y'all... Oh, I wanted to show y'all. This is the one I made for the class to show an example. And I used actually a paper clip so it could be removed, but it has the pom-poms on it as well. And then it's just got all kind of fun little charms on it. And yes, you guys, look. Oh, isn't it cute? The acrylic charms. I'm going to have some in my shop soon. I'm hoping to have everything listed on the 15th. All the new stuff that's coming out. That's my goal. But I'm on the fence because, okay, so the charms come like this, right? In individual packed. But I'm thinking about, this one I want to put on my sister's as well, since we're going to be in our fairy tale land. I'm going to put a fairy tale on her, a little fairy. And so anyway, I have them individually wrapped like that. And then I also have, what do you call it? I thought about putting some different charms that are associated with it in a kit. So that's what I'm thinking about selling online. Not just the charm itself, but also like some additive little beads and stuff to kind of give you some inspiration to have for these cute little things. So these cute little acrylic charms. I'm like, what am I thinking? Okay, so this is a twine that I got from Hobby Lobby. It's hemp twine. It came in a spool like this, but you can buy all kind of hemp. I also like using this. This is a multicolor twine as well. I think it's hemp as well. I just want to use something that's going to be very sturdy, and I mean, you could use yarn, but yarn, the thing that is with yarn, and I love yarn, but it is thick, so I've got something that will be able to run beads through without difficulty. So that's kind of what my goal was when picking out this twine, but I use hemp. I've used it in a lot of projects, so it's very sturdy and I haven't had any problems with it. And you can buy it out on the aisle of the jewelry making is where I typically find mine. So even embroidery thread would probably work. But okay, so did you see what I did? I'm sorry, I was talking and didn't show you. So I love these little hooks, and I'll leave a link below. I'm going to try to like remember everything that I say that I'm going to leave a link below. But if I ever do not leave a link below, please comment. I know that I have someone that had asked about the printer, and I didn't leave that link, and I got sick. And then just me talking about it right now had me remember. So I will actually post that, and I apologize that if I don't get back to you. I really do. I've got to set that up in my schedule because my brain literally is always all over the place. So I have a new planning system I'm working out, but that's a whole nother video. Okay, so I folded the twine in half, right? And it has a little loop on the end where it's folded. I'm going to put this through if you have a paper clip, if you're using, I'm using this little cute little plastic lobster clasp. And then I'm just going to run, once we get the loop through there, I'm going to take the rest of it and then loop it through. So you're actually just, whoops, well, here's the loop. You're going to grab that through and then pull it. So it creates a little latch on there. And then what I like to do is just do a little, kind of like a tie right here. And that way it just kind of holds it into place. You know, that way it doesn't really move around. So now you have all this to play with. So with mine, what I like to do is sometimes I like to start out with like smaller beads at the top. I have these that I've been, these are my wording that I'm using for my sisters, so we're going to be using all of that. But I will start out with a smaller bead. And I'm kind of emphasizing blue with her because I also have these little smiley faces that I've been adding to different charms, and that was one that I have her a blue one and me a green one. I think this, I wonder if it glows in the dark. It looks like it would be one that glows in the dark, but I haven't added that to my journal yet. But I kind of start out with the small one. It's really up to your options on what you want to do. As you can see, I did a little seed bead after that, and then I put a candy corn. But I don't know if I have any seed beads up here. Oh yeah, here's some right here. And I don't have to make it exactly the same as I did mine, but I'm just kind of showing you how I made mine. So I'm going to take a seed bead, and then I got glue all over my fingernails, you guys, sorry. And then I'm going to take like a really cute, fun charm, like I did a candy corn. I hope I have a candy corn. Do I have a candy corn in here? I don't see one. That's odd. I thought I got her everything that I put on mine. But you can definitely use whatever. So I'm kind of going with the seasonal look, the seasonal stuff with our, like what we're going to be doing on our trip. You see, I got this really cool little Lazy Susan that I'm holding my beads in. I absolutely love it. I'm going to use a sunflower because I do have, since it is going to be, we're going to be going in September. I just associate August and September with sunflowers. I think it's because it's fallish and you're kind of going into that, I'm totally into the fall vibe. So my house has sunflowers in it right now. It is my decorating choice. So yeah, I'm going to just do a sunflower, and it basically, you tie a knot around that charm, just like you did at the top, so it holds it into place, right? So I've got that. Now, I went ahead and started doing my word, and there's different ways you can do this. You can squish all your lettering and stuff together, or you can like do a space. But once I started putting the lettering on there, I liked it better when I put it all together versus, you know, like see how these I kind of spaced out. I was trying to do that with the lettering from the top, and it just didn't, well, you can see I did a little, I think I tried to tighten it as much as I can, but there is that little bit of space in between there. But I personally thought it looked better if I had it all together. So let's go ahead and put Leaf Peeper on here. And let me move this one out of the way so we can really see what is happening here. Oh, okay. So we're going to start with our L. And these lettering here I got from Walmart. They're pretty cheapy, Phil, but I think they definitely do the trick for this project. I like the bigger beads for this project, but you know, they have so many amazing different types of lettering beads now out there. It's just like they have black base, and this is a white base, so but they have black background. So then I put a bead in between these just to kind of add, you know, word definition. And you could actually put, let's see, I have these really cute. I didn't have these when I made mine. These little beads, I didn't have these whenever I did mine. But I'm going to put a little leaf on there. Oh my god, that's so cute. Okay, sorry. I got a little excited here. But what I was going to tell you with this project, so when I make my journal, right, so when I do this project, what I've really learned, what I've really started to do over the last couple of, let me see here, the last couple of journals and charms that I've made, I like to add things as I go along. Like if I go, like for example, I go on a trip, right, and I pick up little ephemera little things like keychains, or maybe I get a squished penny, you know how I love those. Then I can add it to my journal. So the nice thing about this is, say for example we go, right, and we pick up a lot of different little ephemera pieces and things like that. Then we can, you can add another string on here. You can grab your string and add more, and then you have more playful things you can add onto your charm. You're not just dedicated to these 2 strands. You can put as many strands as you want. Say you only get one keychain while you're out and about, then you can definitely, you know, come back and add more beads and then add the keychain. So there's so many different little things you can do with these charms that I absolutely love. So one of the things also that I was focusing on too, let me put this, I'm going to just add another little bead at the end here. Let's go ahead and close this up since we have this, let's see here. I'll do this little sparkly one. Okay, so I'm going to conclude this little section of it, and I'm going to add another little, so I added a bead, and then I can see where I added the sunflower here, but I'm going to add another little charm. Now, one of the places we're going to be staying at, so this is kind of like where I link my charms and that kind of go with the event. We're going to be staying at this place that is actually has a candy shop in one side, and then it's called, it's funny because it's a motel, you know. I was always like, oh, I think of like, you know, motel, I think of, oh gosh, that horror movie. I shouldn't say that. We shouldn't say that. Nothing's going to happen on this trip that's creepy, right? But anyway, half of it we're staying at is a place, you know, has sleeping and everything. And the other half, you guys, is like a candy shop. And I think it might be the biggest candy shop in Vermont. I'm not sure. I am over the moon with that because, you know, I love my candy shop. So anyway, I'm just so excited. So that's why I'm putting the chocolate on there, because we're going to be going to add, we're going to be going to the candy shop. So I'm kind of doing, you know, this really themed around what we're going to be doing. So I kind of picked out charms for that reason. Okay, so I'm going to add that on there. And then there you have it already started. So then, let's see here. So then I come into, I just start adding different things here. Like I love adding, I should have one in here. Adding buttons. We've got buttons. We've got bells. We've got, oh, we're going to be going to a ice cream place, right? So I wanted to definitely include that in there. Let's see what all it, okay, oh yeah. So creamies, they have these creamies that my sister wanted to try last time, but we didn't end up getting one. So definitely on our list this time. What is that? Oh, I see something strange at the bottom here. I don't know what it is, but I can't get, oh, there it is. What is this? Looks like a worm. Creepy. I do have some creepy charms, so I don't know if that got in there somehow. But we're going to put it over there with the creepy charms. Okay, so then, let me go ahead and add a, I'm not going to add a button because it's too, like, brown here. So I think what I'll do is we're going to definitely go have, we're also going to have donuts, our apple cider donuts, so that's going to be part of our trip. So I'm going to go ahead and take another little bead. I think I'm going to do like an orange. And then I think I'm going to add like another piece of little candy on there. Or you could do like, there it is. Oh, I do have a red button we can use. That might be a little bit standout-ish. So I'm going to add another little piece of candy. And then I'm going to add a, I'm going to add the donut. Or is that too much? Actually, let me go ahead and add another bead. And I'm going to add the blue since I'm going to be putting a lot of blue on her, her charm, just to keep that going. Oh, there we go. And then I'm going to tie another knot to kind of like conclude this part of the charm. And this is where I leave a little bit of space in between them so that they're not all like back to back. They kind of hang, but you do want to kind of like to me that's too much, so I'll bring this up a little bit here. And normally I have my tweezers which help with me and my knotting situations, but you want to look at how far it's going to drop, because once you knot it, it's very hard to get it out. But I like that length on it. So I'm going to add my button, and I just go in from the back through the front, down, just like you would be doing a button, pull it through, liking that length right there, tie another knot. So you kind of get the idea of you're just adding whatever fun things you want to add onto your charm. Okay, so, and again, I want to definitely leave some space here, so in case, you know, at first I like the little string look, but if she wanted to make it longer and she wanted to add more charms, she could definitely do that. So I'm just going to come in and conclude with this ice cream. Excuse me, my nose, sorry. And I'm going to bring this quite up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to conclude with the ice cream on that side. So we're going to move to the other, and that's when I have the word travel. So I'm going to start out with this. going to do another little seed bead. Actually, you know what I did on this other one? I wanted to add some plaid on there. I'm going to actually add this little bitty... Me and my sister love our coffee. So I'm going to add this little coffee on hers. And then I'm going to conclude with another little bead. And then I can do my seed bead. Let's see if I can get one out of here. Seed beads are always nice to have because then you can kind of close it up. Kind of does a... kind of close it up, like completes it. I'm just going to see how that hangs. Okay. I love the little... I'm going to add a little coffee on mine. I left a little bit of string on mine, but like I said, I can always come in and add... I didn't have these little beads when I was working on mine. Okay. Ta-da, we've got that. Okay, so my next thing is we're going to add another little... I think I'm going to do another blue just to tie in the blue because we will be adding these elements. I do want to definitely add those. Let's see if this is going to be too big of a bead. Because one of the things I noticed too is that when you have it hanging, oh no, that's perfect. Sometimes if you have too much up here, it'll hang like a horseshoe, and so I kind of always kind of keep that in mind. Okay, so we're going to put travel on here. This is going to be such a fast and furious trip, you guys. We should have planned for a week, but it was kind of like we wanted to go back and we wanted to do a couple things that we wanted to spend some time in Waitsfield, which is like the city that I'm obsessed with at the time. At this time, you know, I've been obsessed with the bridge. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm obsessed with this covered bridge located in the town, and so yeah, we want to go back, and plus there's an artist there that we want to buy some more ornaments from, and yeah, so anyway, that's one of the reasons we kind of were like, well, let's do it. And then we started looking at plane rides, and next thing you know, we were booking it, and we're booking places, and what I discovered though is we must be going at peak time because everything's a little bit more expensive than what it was last year when we went. Okay, so my sister is huge into photography. She's such a great... She's really, really good, you guys. So I had this little from last... excuse my eye. I had this from last kit, the creative documenter, so I definitely want to put that on there. But one of the things we love to do also is eat our lobster bisque and our lobster rolls. I didn't get a lobster roll last time, so that's on my want to do list. But we're going to do that while we're in Maine on the coastline. Last year, I think we got it in no, where did we go? Was it New Hampshire? It might have been New Hampshire. Anyway, we're excited about having our lobster again. So I'm going to get that. I'm going to try to tie this as tight as I can because I want to keep that travel all together at the top instead of having a space in between. So we're going to have to just kind of... And if you make these charms, the more you make them, the more you'll get the hang of how to tie the knot, where to tie the knot, etc. Okay, let's see how it looks. Oh, it's looking quite funky junky, isn't it? It's so cute. Okay. So then, let's see what we got. We are going to add, I'm just kind of looking at what I did with mine. Okay, I already added my ice cream on there. Let's add another small bead. This is kind of a golden one. Fits the, if I can get my, And some of these, when they put the whatever they put on the outside of it, let's get one of these smaller beads then. It's going to be stubborn. Sometimes the hole would work, but I have to get in there with some filler and mess with it. And I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, so let's see here. Now we're going to start concluding this up. So I definitely want to put the camera and the scroll. Oh, and we have to do our donut. So let's go ahead and do our donut. I feel a sneeze coming on. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to wrap this around. I'm going to put our donuts for our apple. I know our apple cider donuts are not pink. I know that, but we're going to add that on there. So we've kind of added another little element here that kind of goes with the trip. And let's go ahead. I'm going to add another. Do I have another blue? What is this? This is a Spot Kitty one. I'll put it over there. Let's do another. Let's do one of these beads. Let's do this yellow polka dotted one. And then we're going to do, I'm going to do the camera. And I have these little scrolls that I got from one of the events we did. So I'm going to go ahead and just add this scroll on there as well. And do a double little charm. Like that. It's like, yeah, the more junky or funky junky you make it your own, right? So that's what's important. Okay, we are going to be doing apple picking, which I didn't include that on mine, so I definitely want to put an apple on her. I want to do a bell. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to conclude with on hers. Oh yeah, and we're on our fairy tale trip, so we're doing that. And then, so let's go ahead and let's do another little bead. These little beads have been very handy for these projects because they kind of act as like little spacers. Let's do yellow. Lots of yellow on here for the leaves. Okay, and then let's do an apple. Because we're going to be doing, I hope we get an apple picking. I told her I definitely wanted to do that. Let's go ahead and do the bell. Let's do all of that all together. Let's see how it looks first. Because that's kind of a lot on at one little. But I think it looks kind of cute. Because again, it's not like you're piecing it together, but it's going to stack together. So I guess you are piecing it together. What I mean by that is like all together, like lined up. Okay. Put the bell. And then I still have a lot quite left, but like I said, we can add as we go. So I'm going to go ahead and put our fairy tale girl on there. And add her. And what's fun about this is you can see you still have a bunch more that you can add charms if you wanted to. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into adding our pom-poms. So I'm going to cut this off to keep it a clean break here. Oh, and also I use the pom-pom maker. Have you guys used this? I need to do a whole video just showing the pom-pom maker because I thought everybody knew about the pom-pom maker. And then we went on when I did the class recently, I have these big beads. They came like, these are from Hobby Lobby, and these are perfect for adding onto the pom-poms. But I thought everybody knew about the pom-pom makers, and I would say almost more than 50% that came did not know about the pom-pom makers. And they're such a great little tool to have. I can't find my other ones. I know, terrible, terrible. But the bigger ones. I have 2 small ones, and I know I have 2 other ones. I ordered some for the class. Was not impressed with the quality. I mean, it worked for the class, but I was really kind of like, oh, this is where your tweezers come in handy. But since I don't have them, I'm just going to use my scissors to push that piece through. So this works out like perfectly for the beads. I mean, it just kind of adds a little something extra to the pom-poms. And then this, we're going to add these 2 beads. Shove that in there. You could always put like masking tape or washi tape on the end there, but I got it working. Okay, so to add this, what I did here was I literally took a one of these guys. What are these? Split rings. Sorry, I'm sorry I keep sniffling, you guys. I was trying not to do that on these videos. Let me get my tool here while I get my... And basically, you could use any kind of... You could actually even use a string if you didn't have these little split beads or whatever, or jump rings. These are like my favorite because they're easy for me to do and I don't have to worry about them coming undone. So I'm just going to add this onto this part of... This is another thing you could do, is if you didn't want to add another big long strand of string, but you had like a keychain, or you had another little charm you wanted to add, or some ephemera or something like that. Oh man, sorry, got all excited and came off. So a split ring, basically it's kind of like the keychains, you know, where you open up an area and you can slide it on. It's very tricky with these larger. It's very doable because I've done it. Don't be, oh, just being stubborn because I'm on camera. But these are great for, I personally love these because I know with jump rings, I have a tendency, I'm going to hold my breath and, okay. See, and then I just push it through. With the jump rings, I have a tendency to, what do you call it? Not, what did I do? Did I do these separately or together? I did it together. You can do it either way. I'm going to trim these off again, just so I have it even. I'm going to twist it, and I'm going to push it through here. Again, ideally, oh, look at that. Thank you. Thank you. I did it. Okay. Okay, going back to the split ring. The reason I like doing the split rings, it's just easier for me to do. And when I do the jump ring, sometimes I notice that my charms fall off because I'm challenged that way. So I like doing the split rings, and I just feel more comfortable doing it, but you can definitely do whatever you prefer. Like I said, you could do a string on here and tie those two there. It's really up to you. So when I come to my pom-pom, I want them to be staggered, so that way one's a little bit shorter than the other, and I'm going to go ahead and just tie it just like this. Now when I did my, probably in the next batch, if I do the pom-poms, if I'm going to make them on a charm like this, I'm going to just use one strand. I double my yarn to tie around, so you have like 4 of these. But I think the next time I do this project, I'm only going to use one strand to tie my pom-poms. And I'll do let me know if you guys are interested. I don't want to do a video that you guys are not interested in, but if you're interested in learning how to do the pom-pom, I'm sure there's tons of videos out there, but I don't mind doing one too. It'd be fun. So, okay, so there her charm is. And then I can add her little happy face on here like this. I could add it onto that that split ring, and then Funky Junky Charm. Here we are. Oops. It didn't. Why are we getting tied up? What's going on here? Okay. And I love that it makes noise, don't you? Isn't that fun? This would be fun even to put on your travel bag. I wonder what TSA would think about that. Okay, so here's mine. Let's see what it looks like with the fun. Okay, the fun should be dry. You know, I can go in and add. But let's add my little smiley face on here, because I haven't done that yet. Ta-da! So cute and festive and totally what we're going to be doing. So yeah, I'm really excited. Alright then, so thanks to you guys for watching. Keep a lookout because I will have some of these charms in my shop. I think I have like some Halloween ones coming in. I have fall ones coming in. So I'm so excited about having those come our way. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Stay sparkly, my friends.